Hey guys, welcome into this edition of In the Booth with Earl Hall. I think this is going to be a good one. So let's talk about it.
So the big question is this: how do voiceover artists like us who are looking to take our careers to the next level, but don't buy into the claims of needing expensive equipment and demos, start bringing in new clients? How do you follow a clear path to changing your voiceover side hustle into your full-time job and stick it to those that said you couldn't? Those are the questions, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Earl Hall, and welcome to In the Booth with Earl Hall, where we know how to grind and don't quit.
Hey folks, and welcome into this edition of In the Booth with Earl Hall. Great Thursday already. Wow, where do I start? The morning has already started off tremendous for me. One thing, I've got some more gear coming in today. Nothing too voiceovery. Basically, my computer is running out of space. So I got an external hard drive, a 2 terabyte hard drive that I'm going to be hooking up as soon as it comes in today, and from Amazon. And also I've got a USB strip. I need some more USB inputs for my computer. And the great thing about what I got coming, and I guess. See, I didn't turn on my mic again. See what I'm talking about? Mistakes? Yeah, no sound. Anyway, great day already. Sorry about that, guys. I'm waiting for some more gear to come in. This morning, I've got a external hard drive, a 2 terabyte hard drive. My PC is just full right now, and I need to move all of the stuff. I mean, I've got so many WAV files, so many videos. You can imagine that I've got to get going out here. But then the other thing, I've got a USB strip coming because I need some more USB inputs and all that kind of stuff. And it also, the USB strip has like 4 ports for charging, specifically just for charging like my devices that I got. So hey everyone, thanks for letting me know I had no sound. I actually looked at my interface and was like, wow, I'm talking and my mic is not on. But anyway, today, this morning already, I have not been one ever to do cold calling. My own fear, I guess you could say that it's my own fear or my own trepidation of rejection. When you pick up the phone and call, I do much better with email. But one of the things that I realized, especially since I'm focusing more on what I'm doing here in the city of Milwaukee, that it just makes sense for me to call up some of these people. It's kind of hard if you're not from Milwaukee to describe the area that I'm in right now. We call it the Old Third Ward. And you've got the Art Institute here. There are other audio production studios here. There are ad agencies. I mean, and all these things are in walking distance. Literally, I can walk to all of these places. And so what I did this morning was I called an ad agency. Out of the blue, just called one. I said, you know what? I need to start being more visible and vocal with what I'm doing here in the city. Called up an ad agency, talked to the CEO. He suggested that I talk to a producer, called the producer, set an appointment for Monday to go in and talk. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Not that I'm scared of doing business, but I guess I mostly do business worldwide, and I'm used to the internet as far as, sending emails, doing social media. But there's something obviously to be said for doing some cold calling when it's warranted. I'm looking to expand, and I believe I've got a unique opportunity for a lot of ad agencies that are here because I am becoming more and more aware of the struggles and some of the pain points that they have with working with, whether it's talent agencies or audio production studios, script writers, so on and so forth. So I was glad to make that happen. And, so besides that and waiting for some more toys to come in this morning, I was coming in this morning and I was listening to Gary Vee. It's one of my morning rituals between talking to Gary Vee, I wish, listening to Gary Vee and talking to my friend Cyrus Webb. And it's all about doing the work. But I was listening to Gary this morning and he was talking about complaining, and it made so much sense. And I've talked about this before. Complainers are never going to be the ones that win.
if you're a business owner, and let's just take YouTube or Fiverr or Facebook changing an algorithm. If you as an entrepreneur are going to sit back and complain about all the things that are wrong, as opposed to looking at all of this stuff as just an opportunity and a way to commit some arbitrage and kind of take over some things and just work within the ecosystem, it makes no sense at all to complain because you're going to waste time doing it. Makes no sense at all to complain because it's not going to change. The biggest thing, and I used to say this a lot, and I haven't said it so much, well, I've said it a few times recently, no one cares about you. No one cares what you think. They don't care that you're upset. They don't care that you don't like the change. It's not your company. It's not your business. It's not your platform. You just have the opportunity to work on it. And either you're going to learn to work within the framework of it or you're not. Something that hit me pretty hard, I think, well, not pretty hard, I can't say pretty hard, pretty fast, I should say. We all know, those of us that are on something like a Fiverr, or specifically Fiverr, they changed their algorithm, and I used to be a level 2 seller and I got knocked all the way back down to new seller. It didn't change anything for me really as far as getting work, because I was still getting work because of the different promotions that I was doing and things of that nature. Got bumped up within 30 days to level 1 seller. And I was expecting to be a level 2 seller come actually next week, which I probably won't hit again because of their algorithm change and because of something that happened with me. And so I had to look at, okay, basically what happened was my completion rate went from 100% down to 83% because of one person. I'm sorry, 80% because of one job that I canceled because the person was looking for more than what it is that they wanted, or what it was that I was giving, and they didn't want to pay more. So we wound up canceling the order, or I wound up canceling the order. And so that knocked my 100% ratio back down to 80%. I don't think I'm going to get back up to 90%. I think I've got 1 or 2 jobs in the queue right now. I know I've got one. Oh, I just completed one yesterday, and I've got another one in the queue to complete. And so I don't know that I'll get up to 90% just on this one other job. But neither here nor there. But here's the thing. It doesn't make sense for me to complain about that because what it showed me is that I need to be more selective and more clear and succinct in what it is that I'm offering and who it is that I'm offering it to. Just because someone wants you to do a gig doesn't mean that you have to do a gig. And so many times we just, we take this on. And what I learned from this process is that I should have been more clear. I owned it. I didn't want to say, oh, well, they didn't know what they were doing. No, I had to own it. I wasn't as clear with this particular potential customer, that I wasn't as clear as I should have been. Now, because of the algorithm change and everything that I just talked about, I'm going to probably stay a level 1 seller probably for another 2 months because I think they only evaluate you every 30 days or something like that. I can sit back and complain and bitch and gripe and moan about an algorithm change, or I can just work. I can just go in and work. No one that is an entrepreneur is going to make it by sitting back and complaining about every little thing that goes on that affects you in a negative way. It just means you have to work harder. You got to go get this thing. No one's trying to, building a business like we're trying to build, it's not going to come easy. It's not going to come quick. And you're going to have to roll with the punches, whatever those punches are. But here's the thing that I learned a long time ago. I stopped looking at people as the problem, or Fiverr, or Voices 123, or whatever. YouTube, Facebook, they're not the problem. They're not. And you've got to consider these platforms that I'm talking about, specifically with Fiverr and with like these are free platforms. You can set up shop. Where else you can't set up a brick and mortar for free. You can literally set up shop and create a business, a successful business on these platforms for free. Sure, they take a cut, but they ought to take a cut because you're not doing any of the marketing work. You're not doing any of the site setup to accept payments and do this and that. You're not doing all the site maintenance that's required, making sure that the site is up and running and all that. You're not doing any of that. All you're doing is say, hey, I'm over here and I can do this. Why don't you guys come check me out? And you get to do it for free. But we want to complain about an algorithm change. We want to complain because whatever the complaint is, there's too many voice actors. You got this voice actor doing that. And, they changed their prices. So now they're stealing this from me. It's a marketplace, dudes. It's a marketplace. And you've got to learn to work within the ecosystem of the marketplace that you're on. And if you can't hack it, you can't hack it. No one that is going to be successful as an entrepreneur is going to be successful by complaining. Because no one cares about what you think or feel. They just don't. Is that real enough? I'm hoping that's real enough. Let me take a couple look at the comments that are coming in with this after my debacle of not having my mic on here. So let me get to that. Okay, Andre. Okay, yeah, you hear me now? Hear you now. Okay, good morning. What's up, Tim, Lazarus, Andrea? Yeah, I was wondering if it is ever appropriate to cold call. Yeah, there is, and I'll get back to that in a moment too. What's up, RSN? Lenny Mage is saying, where did I go? I'm sick and tired of hearing about how all these people are sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of That's funny. All right, great way to handle it, Earl. Learn the lesson and execute. That's all you can do. When something isn't going, here's the thing you can all bank on. It's going to change again. Something is going to be made harder again. It's not over. And this is where the people that are going to excel make the difference. Because instead of looking at a change, it doesn't work that way anymore. Baby, it's not going to work that way again. Let's stop talking about that and let's move on. You can complain till the cows come home, and I don't want to hear it. Most people don't want to hear it. The negativity, it's bad for you and it's bad for everyone else. Does it become tougher and harder? Yeah, but you know what? It's supposed to. Because if this was something that everyone could do, everyone would be doing it. But only what's that saying? Only the strong survive? Yeah, it's true. Let's see. Morning Letty, Minnesota. What's going on? Major saying, unless you control the purse strings, there you go, of things that control things, no amount of complaining will change. Exactly. Again, it's not your business. It's not your platform. And I think one of the biggest lessons that I've tried to teach people about whatever platform they're using, whether it's Upwork or People Per Hour or Freelancer.com or Fiverr or whatever, it's not yours. And they're not your clients. The people that hire you on these platforms, they're not your clients. They're the platform's clients. That's why they treat us the way that they do, because they look at servicing that client. And if you can't service that client appropriately, like my mistake was, you get dinged for it. You get dinged because that's their client and you didn't service their client appropriate. I didn't service the client appropriately. So you've got to be very cognizant of what it is that you say in your gigs and what it is that you're willing to perform. I've never had a problem like that before because I always over deliver. But the complaining thing has just got to end. What's up, Fail Builder? Nick, what's happening, my friend? Let's see. I'm not waiting to do more on YouTube, social media, documenting my journey. Comes later today. I saw something about that you were doing, Nick. Was that a video or a podcast? Or I saw something that you had asked a question. Should you do it on Instagram or YouTube? I saw that that you had. Let's see. I don't want to hear it. RSN. Yeah, Fail Builder. This was cool. What's up, Chris? Glad to have you in the house, buddy. Let's see. All right, now. One of the things that I've seen, and I continue to see this over and over again, and so I'm going to repeat this somewhat, is that those people that are going to succeed are going to succeed. If that makes sense. Because the people that are going to succeed aren't going to be the ones that you hear complaining. The people that are going to succeed are going to take a good, long, hard look in the mirror and figure out, or probably have already figured out, that whether they succeed or fail is based on the person that they're seeing in the mirror. That person's actions, that person's attitude, that person's mindset on what it is that they're going to do. What was so funny, because I'm not the person that believes in instantaneous results for anything. But what was funny about the cold call that I made this morning, and I have like 10 lined up. I'm looking on my other screen here. I've got 10 companies lined up right here in Milwaukee that I want to call today. That was the first cold call that I made and got an appointment. So that's funny that kind of happened that way. It took me 2 calls. I talked to the CEO first of the company. The CEO was like, oh, yeah, we'd probably like to talk to you. Why don't you give this guy a call and go ahead. And so I went ahead and did that and, told the guy, I talked to the CEO, said, call him and gave my little spiel. And I was nervous. Yeah, I was nervous. But it was something I had to get over because I know that this is what I need to do in order to advance what it is that I'm trying to do with Earl Hall Studio here locally in the city of Milwaukee. I've got to set up face-to-face meetings. I've got to meet these folks. They've got to see me. They've got to talk to me. They've got to know me. We're all right here in the same area. As I'm walking around, I'm sure, there's a Milwaukee market right across the street that all of us go to. We're in there. I mean, you can get your sandwiches, your fish, your wine, your coffee, your salads, your green drinks. You can buy. It's a nice place to be, and it's mostly business people because that's all that's around here. It's kind of the art district. So when you're looking to, if you're really going to do something, and I can use myself as an example this morning. Whatever there's a fear that you have of doing, and mine is cold calling. I don't like it. I know I come on YouTube live every day and I talk to you guys. This is my element, but it is something about picking up this phone and making a call to someone that is not a good feeling for me. And so if you want to push yourself to the next level, do the thing that you're afraid to do. Do the thing that you're afraid to do that is making you uncomfortable, but also that can take you to another level. And don't complain about it. You've got to be, I've been talking a lot, especially with the webinar we did on Sunday with LinkedIn about being on the offensive. And you heard me talk about it earlier this week. You've got to go on the offense with your marketing. You've got to go on the offense. And this is me going on offense. It's uncomfortable. Everything else I've done in marketing, completely fine, completely comfortable doing, doesn't take any effort at all on my part. It just, I have to do it. But that cold calling thing, that was one of the things that I had to get over. The thing that you're scared to do right now to propel your voiceover career is the thing you need to do. What are some of the things you guys might be a little bit intimidated about? I want to know, what is intimidating you about the process of going on the offensive with building your voiceover career? Is there something that is just, you feel like it's holding you back? And type those things in. Let me know what they are, but I'm going to give you a little bit of advice here on that. That thing that you come up with that is holding you back, like my thing, would have been cold calling. Cold calling wasn't holding me back. I was holding me back. I wasn't doing the thing and I've known for weeks now, Earl, you got to start meeting with people. And so I would do everything else that I could think of doing other than picking up the phone. I would do more marketing on LinkedIn. I would post more on Instagram. I just wouldn't pick up the phone. There's something about each of us that I think just holds us back to a certain point that we really have to get clear on that is the thing that you're scared of doing. And in many cases, that thing that you're scared of doing is probably going to be the thing to break you out. All right, so what we got going on here? Stepping out of your comfort zone is key to success. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate that. What's up, Anthony? Glad to have you in the house, of course. Yeah, pretend you are in Amway. That felt. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't like my own demos, and that keeps me from getting my foot in the door. RSN. Let me speak to that for a moment, because I've said this over and over the past couple of weeks with people that I've coached and people that I have done demos for over the past couple of weeks. None of us like the sound of our voice, especially at the beginning. There's something about, especially when you first start in voiceover, there's something about, and every person in the world, I think, is like this. Because we hear ourselves talk from the time we start talking. And then one day, all of a sudden, somebody has a tape recorder, or you have a tape recorder, or you're making something and your voice is recorded, and you go back and listen to that, and you're like, oh my God, that's what I sound like? Everybody has that moment. And for voice actors, it can be pretty intimidating or upsetting, but because we have a certain ear for how we think we sound when we talk. But that's not how we sound. But how we sound is fine. And so when you're talking about creating a demo, part of that is you learning to get accustomed to hearing yourself talk and just getting comfortable with it. There's nothing wrong with how you talk or how you speak. There really isn't. That's just your opinion about you hearing yourself. Doesn't mean you're not a good voice actor or whatever. But if you're not happy with your demo, there's a reason why. Now, interesting enough, when I was creating Mage's demo and communication we had, he was saying there was just something that didn't sound right. It wasn't sitting right, and I couldn't figure out what that was. And he figured it out, and we fixed it, and we completed the demo. Now, if you've got a demo that you're not happy with, you got to ask yourself a couple questions why, and write those things down. Write what is wrong, what you think is wrong with your demo. Now, here's the thing that I don't like. I was speaking to someone on yesterday, and they were talking about, well, I'm sending out my demo, and I'm, getting different people's advice on what they think. And I was like, stop. Just stop. Stop asking everybody what they think about your demo. Stop, because none of them are going to agree, and everybody's going to have different opinions, and you're going to get your mind in a debacle here. Because you're getting all this input from all these places of people that really probably aren't invested in you, but they have a personal opinion, and some of them may even have an agenda. Maybe your demo is great, but they don't want to tell you that. But I stopped asking people's opinions a long time ago about what they think about something that, as far as my demo goes. What do you think about? I've never asked anybody what they think, because my demo gets me work, and that's all I care about. Is it getting me work? So you've got to figure those couple of things out before you say that you don't like your demo. Figure out what it is that you don't like about it, and see if it can be fixed, whether it's you or whether it's the production, because there are two different things involved. It's either you or it's the production. Let's see. Going back up, and you guys are still talking. All right. For me, it's marketing myself. Now, that's a whole big thing, Andrea. That's a whole big thing. And to break out of that, let me just tell you how to break out of getting stuck. It's what I had to do this morning. I came in with the mindset, this is the first thing, and this was the first thing I did when I sat down. I didn't let myself do anything else until I started making cold calls, and I only made one. I only made one cold call, and I was so geeked about it, I haven't made any more. So after this, after I do the live stream, I'm going back to cold calling again. But the way you're going to break out of the fear is not by all of a sudden saying, well, I'm trying to get over the fear. I'm trying to get over the fear. No, you're not. You're in fear. There is no trying to get over the fear. Because the fear will be there. Just like I still get butterflies when I go into someone else's booth. I still get butterflies doing that, being directed by someone else. It doesn't go away. You just do it. The fear does not go away. You just do the thing you're afraid to do. Period. End of story. There's no other alternative. There's no other strategy. There's not a video that you're going to watch. There's not a blog you're going to read that's going to tell you how to get out of fear. You get out of fear by doing it. Some of you guys have heard me say, there's this scripture in the Bible, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Well, the first part is the best part. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The words in that are the answer. You're walking through it. You're not stuck in it. If you stop walking through, you will always be there. And that's where many of us stay, because we stop walking because we're just in fear. But it says, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. That means there's an out of it. And the only way out of it is through it. And so when you're talking about your fear or things that you want to overcome, that's the answer, is by walking through it, not trying to make it go away, because it won't, because it is your fear. You only overcome that fear by doing the thing that you fear, period. There's no other out. It's just life, and it's just real. And when you do that, it doesn't mean, even after you come out the other side and say you're scared of marketing, boom, you pick a strategy, you pick a course of action, and you do it while you're afraid. Same thing with people that are saying, yeah, I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to start a blog. I want to start a podcast. And people are always thinking about doing something. You're always thinking about doing it. When does the action happen? Yeah, I'm thinking about this and I want to make sure that I got this. No, you're making excuses not to start. And you're giving yourself excuses and making them reasons for not starting. All right, so let me see what here. Do what's hardest first is what Mage is saying. I'm right there with you, Arsene. I don't like my demos. I feel like they are just not up to snuff to get work. Do a better one. Do whatever it takes to get a better one. Whether that's you, whether it's working with a coach, whether you work with me to create your demo, or anyone, or you figure out how to do this on your own, you got to take committed action to doing the thing. All right. Let's see. The fear can be eliminated. Can be, but to be quite honest, sometimes it never is. Sometimes in some things that we do, we're just fearful of doing it all the time. Any of you parents? We don't have a choice in being parents. There are situations I'd rather not deal with my kids. But guess what? I gotta. Anyway, Voices by Storm. I use the petrified of public speaking. I used to be petrified of public speaking, getting thrown into a role in theater when I was supposed to just be a background stagehand, helping me get over that. Help me get over that. Yeah. Doing the thing. You did the thing. Now it's just what you do. All right. Let's see. Steve-O, having a demo as a new VO like most of us is like open mic night at karaoke bar. Get up on stage and rock the mic. Sometimes. I mean, it can be. But what you experience is no different than what any of us experience as far as having to deal with rejection. It's a part of the VO life. At whatever stage you're at, from the top to the bottom, we deal with rejection every day. And a few times we'll get a win. But most of what we deal with is rejection. Well, I don't think that's good enough. Or I'm looking for something different. That's most of our life as a VO. It's just real. All right. Chris is saying, yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, fear no evil, for I am the badass mother sucker in the valley. All right. That's funny. All right. But any questions? Wow, I've been talking for 30 minutes now. That's craziness. And here again, even what I do every day, Monday through Friday with you guys here on YouTube, talking about the voiceover industry, talking about the different things that we can do to start, build, and grow our voiceover career. Believe me, there was trepidation in my first live stream. Let me tell you, when I first began doing YouTube, I literally remember having a small towel that I could just rub my face in it because I would sweat. I was that scared, but I knew I had to do it. Now, no sweating. No sweating. Completely dry. No sweating. Because I just did it. And this has just become a second nature type of thing to me. And it's with anything it is that we do as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, wanting to do something above and beyond what most people are willing to do, which is putting ourselves out there to be judged. And this is what we do every day. We put ourselves out there to be judged. We do these auditions. We write these proposals. We do social media marketing. You're putting yourself out there to be judged. With what I do here on YouTube, it's tenfold. It's 1,000-fold. Because I do this live, people are able to comment. They're able to say whatever it is they want. From time to time, you've seen people say crazy things or trying to attack me or whatever, and you just have to roll with the punch. But we never start off great. But there's greatness in us. And the only way we get to that greatness is by being able to go through the things that no one else is willing to go through and say, I'm going to do it anyway. Go through the rejection, go through the fear, the trepidation, the people laughing at you, whether it's family, friends, spouses, even kids or whatever, saying, oh, you're nothing, you're never going to be anything, you're just trying to do this thing. You can let that get in your head, or you can keep it out of your head. Sometimes it'll come to Xing people out of your lives because they don't support your dream or your vision. And it's not their fault, because it's not their dream or vision. It's your dream or vision. How will you let someone, just by saying something to you that you don't like, stop you from doing what it is that you want to do? Because that's, in essence, a lot of what happens. We care way too much about what other people in our circles think. Some of us need to make our circles smaller, not larger. And we need to get that negativity out of our lives, quick, fast, in a hurry. I hope this has made sense, guys. I hope that this has brought you some value. Please give me a thumbs up if it has. If it has not, give me a thumbs down. I only want what you feel that I deserve. I love the interaction, love the comments from everyone in here. You guys are awesome and amazing. I love you guys, and most definitely, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. You have a great Thursday.